and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back to the Coaches Show. John Ding is with you. Our portion is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at mte.com. And James Counce joins me here, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. Coach, I hope you're doing well this morning. And I know you're feeling pretty good about that big win last night.
Yes, sir. Doing good. And, just excited for our kids. And, the progress that we've made and the coaches and the kids, that's the big thing. Just proud for them.
They started out about as well as a football game can start out for a team. The defensive line was superb. They did a good job of shutting down Stewart's Creek's running game. Had some turnovers, got out to a 17-0 lead, and a lot of times that can be damaging if you get out to too big of a lead because you tend to be a little more complacent. That didn't really happen to your guys. The defense was there all night.
Defense played really well, and they have all year. And they bailed us out a couple times, last night, but they played really well. And, offensively, we hit a little lull there in the third quarter. And, that's some things that we're trying to build on and correct. And, looking at our previous games, in the way that we have gained ground and done some things there and got that correct, some things corrected. And we're not where we want to be, but we're in a lot better place than we were earlier in the year.
It certainly was a battle. I mean, both defenses were playing tough. They were shutting your running game down. You were shutting theirs down. And there was about a quarter there where not really action by either team until Stewart's Creek got within 7 of you. And a lot of teams, you would go a little panic mode. But you guys really did a nice job of coming right back and getting that 2-touchdown lead back.
Just respond.
Yes.
We talked about, trying to get the momentum back. Well, the only way you're going to get it back is to go get it. And, in the way that we play. And, we try to coach aggressive and we want our kids to kind of feel that from us. And we went through that dip and then we were able to gain our composure there and was able to finish it out. Where early in the year we didn't finish one out, so
yeah,
that we should have. But progress, growth. I think the kids are starting to kind of figure out. Listening to me a little bit, and I might know a little bit about what's going on, and so we're definitely gelling and coming together.
Chia was very instrumental in the win last night, 106 yards and 5 receptions, which really the first play from the line of scrimmage, a long pass from Hamby. That was a huge momentum builder there right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, we look and break ourselves down, and, we felt like that, that would be something to kind of start the game with against kind of what we have been doing and kind of give us a spark there early, and it worked out perfect. And RC had a great game last night. He's a guy that can do a lot of different things. He punts for us too. He has played quarterback, and he threw a pass later in the game off a jet sweep that so he can do a lot of different things for us, and he had a very good game last night.
That pass was right there too. I know the receiver had to back up a little bit. I think that's where it didn't get completed, but that was a pretty good throw there. Hamby was yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, he had to wait just a hair, but that's kind of one of those situations. When you get that wide open,
yeah,
sometimes that happens. But he also came back, that same kid did, and made a catch later on, make up for it. That was very well played defensively. Just made a great catch on the ball.
Hamby was 8 of 16 for 144 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did what he needed to do. I know there was a little lull there, but he kind of showed some leadership there in that third and fourth, late in the third and the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he did, and he had some things he was trying to work through, and a little turf toe, but he toughed it out and did a great job managing the game. Leading the kids, leading the guys, leading his teammates, and he's a tough competitor.
I did want to mention one more. Reynolds rushed for 48 yards and a touchdown. I'm really impressed with that kid. He's not a big kid at all.
No, he's not. He's kind of worked his way, from being a scout team running back, the last couple years, which I feel like is where you get your toughness from. I told our team last night that the two scout groups was very, very much a big part of us winning last night because of the way that they approached the week and the things and the look that they gave us. And I think that's where your younger kids, get their tough skin from. And because essentially they're going against what we think is our best players. So with those guys doing that good a job for us last week, and it sure does make things better.
Reynolds is a case of working hard. You may not be in the top tier, but working your way to that top tier by just good old fashioned hard work and reliability, right?
If I could put one word that would describe Anton, it would be consistency.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing. He's just, he takes care of the football. We're running a little different stuff, and he's learning how to run it, and he's coachable, and he runs physically. We're physical style, and but the consistency is where I think you would describe him. Very consistent.
James Counce is our guest here, head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. A big win over Stewart's Creek last night, 31-10. The crowd was terrific last night. They had a military program for a presentation that gives you chill bumps as you heard the different the Marine Corps song, and I mean it just gave you thrills. And those kind of things are what enthuse fans, and you could tell by the crowd. Stewart's Creek brought a big crowd. It was a special night.
Oh, it was, the student section and the band and everybody, and the crowd that they brought, it was a great atmosphere for high school football, and having the military, had a Black Hawk that flew in, I think at 5:00, and then he left. They picked up and left right at halftime as we were walking in, so that was pretty cool too, and had some trucks and different things like that. But and that kind of goes, with this community out here at Rockvale, and the field being, having an American flag in it, and our JROTC programs are big, and it just kind of ties everything together and kind of what this community is, based on.
And one thing, getting back to the game, I guess, is one thing I really noticed. The defensive line just really did such a good job at containing the running game, and that helps the secondary too, doesn't it? When you've got a good pass rush and you got people doing their job, that helps the secondary, helps the linebacker, it helps everybody, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, everybody's got to do their job and a piece of the puzzle, and those guys have played really well all year. We got a few kids that are getting some depth there, and they played extremely well. They're physical. They do a great job of shocking and shedding, getting off blocks, and so they've had a really good 4 games for us.
Well, you travel to Smyrna this week. That's a road game and a pretty tough place to play. There's a lot of history there at that stadium, at Bud Rake Stadium. But you've got to build off momentum from this game. And Smyrna may not have the record that they normally do, but they're a pretty good team, aren't they?
Very much so. And I looked at them a little bit last night morning, but when we got the trade. But they, defensively, they're big up front. The nose guard's real active. They've got a lot of real good players, and it's going to be a challenge for us. We got to go in next week. It's next game and 1 week at a time and all those kind of things. But we got to ride the momentum of how we performed and how we did things this last week, and we got to continue that to this next week. And we got to keep growing.
Yeah,
and moving forward. So,
and as the challenge too, that you've had a big win. It was a big home win, and you're sitting there with a nice record in region play, and 2 big region wins. You can't be complacent. You gotta make sure that they're ready to go on Friday, because every game in this region is going to be tough.
Every game, and I don't know. There's nobody that you can let your guard down.
Right.
And I think our kids understand that, just coming from where we've come from, and I think they'll this will energize them, and I think they'll use the momentum from last week and how we played the last couple of weeks, to our advantage. And I don't think they're overlooking anybody. To be honest with you, I think our guys are locked in. Like I said, I think they're starting to believe that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and so they're trying to do what I ask them. So it's been a big culture change.
Yeah,
it's different. Every time you have a coaching change like that, things are going to be different. And they didn't know me, but now we're starting to get that bond, and believe and trust in each other.
Well, you're off to a great start, and Coach, good luck against Smyrna next week, and I appreciate you taking time out to give us the talk.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, that's James Counce, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. We continue with more of the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. Coming up next, it's going to be Siegel, Adam Renshaw. But this portion has been brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to the First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services. We'll be right back.